In this video, we're going to continue looking at SQL queries with aggregate functions, and this time we're going to look at the sum. So we're on the W3 schools under their SQL. We're going to be working with their instance of the NorthWind database, and we're looking at their sum function. So here's their, when we say try this, um, here's their version of the sum. So we're in the uh, order details. We need to sum or average or min or max. We need some kind of numerical field, and there aren't many in this database. But one of them was the price in the products, and we played all around with that with min and max and average. And one of the other ones is quantity, and that's over here in order detail. So we're going to be playing more with that, with quantity, and then we'll bring in a price and quantity together. Okay, so here's just quantity, the sum of quantity for order details. So this is sort of the total number of products that we've sort of ever sold. And uh, we can name it if we want. Um, that's total number or something like that. And that is so 12,743 items altogether were sold by this company, the NorthWind company, whatever it is. Okay. Now we know from playing before that we can add where clauses or group by clauses. So within order detail, there's an order ID table. Sorry, an order ID field. And so we can say like where order ID is 10248. And that will get us the number of products sold in that particular order. So 27. So that is here's the number, the quantity 12 and 10248 is these first three rows, and it's 12 and 10 and 5. So that is the 27. Okay, or we know that we can do, instead of picking out one order ID, we can instead use, if we want a group by order ID, and then add that order ID up here, and we can then get, for each order, we can get that sum. So there is order 10248 had 27 total items, 10249 had 49 items. We can, right now, it is sort of by default ordered on the first property in an ascending order, but we can, if we want, order by some quantity and maybe make that descending. So which order has ordered the most products, and on down. So 10324 ordered 241 products and on down. So this is sort of a single table working with some. You can combine it with a where, you can combine it with a group by, you can order things on different fields. Now let's start to bring in order details, which has here order ID, product ID, quantity. We're going to bring in product because product will have price, and then we'll be able to have like the quantity of a product times the price of the product and sort of start to figure out like how much money was involved in an order like that. Okay. So we give in this exercise here. You're given a query and just asked what it does. And it is a join query, so it's order details, inner join products. So we're combining those two tables. And order details had a product ID as a foreign key. And of course, products has a product ID as a primary key. And so the natural join between them is on the matching of those two IDs. And we're just sort of showing order ID, product name, quantity, price. And these properties are all unique. If I had put in like product ID, then I would have had to specify the table as well as the field name because it's shared. That's a field name that's used in two different tables. But let's run that. And so we see here we are saying um, order 10248, which is again the first three rows. Here are the products. Here is the quantity ordered and the price ordered. So we ordered this mozzarella. We ordered 5. They were 34.80 as their price. So that's what this does. So it is giving you sort of line by line within the order the quantity and the price. So it's just a basic join and it's slapping out quantity, which was from order details, and price, which was from products, order ID, which was from order details, and product name, which was from products, sort of your standard inner join there. Okay. Now we're going to do a little calculating. So we're going to modify this just the slightest bit. Instead of uh, quantity, just quantity and price, we're going to multiply quantity and price. So I've just added to it. I've kept quantity, I've kept price, but I've added, and you can do this in SQL. You can do a calculation with simple, multiply, divide, add, subtract, what have you, and accepts parentheses and so on. So I can calculate two fields provided they're numerical. And so I'm going to add another field here, which is the multiplication. Okay. So let's just bring out a calculator and test. So we're saying, I don't want to be in programmer, let's be in scientific. 5 times, you can't see that, I'm in the way. 5 times 34.8, and that was the 174. So we're getting a new field, which is the quantity times the price. So we're getting close to what the order requires. And then we're just going to add in. Now we're going to one more than it's pre-made, and we're just sort of asking what it does. But when we ask what this one does, it added a field. So we had a basic join of properties from product and properties from order details. Then we added a calculated field that was the multiplication of quantity and price. And now we're going to bring back our sum, and we're going to get rid of, we're going to keep order ID. We're going to get rid of the particular things of product and quantity and price, but we're going to take this quantity by price and we're going to sum it. So we're going to find out how much each order was for. And that's this last one. Now, if I'm going to group by, I don't want to keep fields that interfere with my group by. So I wanted to group by order ID and sum the quantity times price. And so I was getting rid of any fields that would sort of be different from one row to the other and somehow like disrupt my summing within the order. So that's why I've eliminated fields here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to keep order ID because I want to group by that. So I'm going to find each order based on order ID, and I'm going to take quantity and price. So I need a join. Quantity is in order details, price is in product. So I have my standard join, and I'm going to grab order details. I'm going to do my calculated quantity. Then I'm going to do a further calculation and sum over it. I'm going to rename it the order total, the total for that particular order, and I'm grouping by the order ID. So order 10248 was a total of $566.00, and 10249 was $2,329.25, etc. So that's it for this one. We played with the aggregate function sum. We summed all the quantities of all the products that have been sold. So we were working with order details and quantity, and we got the total number of products sort of ever sold. Then we used a where clause to get the number of products in a particular order, or we used group by to sort of show all the orders, the count or the sum of the quantity, the sum of all the number of products that are in the order um, based on the order ID. And then we moved over to a join where we were joining the order details of the product. So that gave us two numerical quantities, the quantity, the number of items sold, and the price of the item sold. And we could do some math within that. So we could multiply quantity times price. And then we could bring back the sum that product, and then group it by the order. So we know how much each order cost. So that's it for this one. Thanks for your attention.